Thank you so much for joining us this morning. It's truly an honor to welcome you all today as we gather to celebrate a monumental milestone, 50 years of NAMI-Santa Clara County. This celebration is not about marking time. It's about honoring a journey. 50 years ago, a small group of determined individuals came together with a vision that no one should face mental health alone. From those early beginnings, NAMI-Santa Clara County has grown into a source of strength, support, and advocacy in our community. Today, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us, families, peers, advocates, and professionals who paved the way for everything we've built together. Our journey has been one of compassion, resilience, and partnership. And over the years, we've expanded our programs, deepened our reach, and most importantly, helped individuals, thousands of individuals and families feel heard, seen, and supported. None of this would have been possible without the passion and commitment of our staff members, volunteers, partners, board members, and every single person who believed in our mission. And I'm so grateful to each one of you. And while today we celebrate how far we've come, we know that there's still a lot of work to be done. The need for mental health support continues to grow, and our mission to educate, support, and advocate remains more vital than ever. Now it is my pleasure to welcome some very special guests who are here to mark this occasion. First, I'd like to invite Supervisor Betty Young and Daniel Cow from Supervisor Lee's office, who will be presenting us with accommodation.
Hi everyone, my name is Betty Young. I am your newly elected Santa Clara County Supervisor representing District 2. So District 2 is, Santa Clara County District 2 is the east half of the city of San Jose. So from downtown through the east side, Little Saigon, Seven Trees, and Hellyer Park. So I know that a lot of you do a lot of work in that area. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of my residents and neighbors and family. Thank you for taking care of our district and our county so well. I'm so proud to be here with you today to celebrate NAMI's 50th anniversary. Promoting and improving mental health in our community is one of the county's top priorities. And NAMI is an incredible and critical partner in that. Working together, we have accomplished so much in Santa Clara County. The NAMI Warm Line Help Desk provides assistance to detainees and their families in Santa Clara County. It includes trained family member partners to respond to calls on evenings and weekends, creating a 24/7 availability to everyone who needs it. We are also building a behavioral health facility focused on both adults and youth at VMC. The 207,000 square foot facility will provide psychiatric diagnosis and inpatient treatment for youth in the county for the first time, allowing them and their families to receive the care locally, close to their homes, schools, and communities. It is scheduled to open in the first quarter of the 2026 calendar, and I know I'll see all of you there for the ribbon cutting and groundbreaking. And this really is a reflection of all of your advocacy, all your work, to making sure that the county heads in the right direction, providing critical services for our most vulnerable. So thank you to NAMI and to our broader community of behavioral health providers and partners. The county's accomplishments are a reflection of your advocacy. Thank you all for what you do to help raise awareness about mental health in our community and to uplift those issues and their families, uplifting their families and loved ones. So at this time, I'd like to present a commendation to NAMI signed by all members of the Board of Supervisors that my colleague Supervisor Susan Ellenberg took lead on, but unfortunately was not able to be here today to present. So Daniel and Rovina, we'll have Rovina in the middle.
We'll give this to you.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, this is our street. Yay! Sorry. 3, 2, 1.
you.
Okay, and now I would like to invite Elizabeth Waka, representative from Senator Aisha Wahab's office, as well as Victoria from Assembly Member Patrick Aaron's office, to present us with the state resolution.
Hi, good morning everyone. My name is Elizabeth and I'm a district representative for State Senator Dr. Aisha Wahab. It is my distinct honor to be here with you all today to celebrate and recognize NAMI's 5 decades of service to the community. Mental health and access to mental health services is a priority for Senator Wahab. Last year, Senator Wahab passed SB 1318, which aims to limit law enforcement interaction with youth during mental health crises, and SB 1353, also known as the Youth Bill of Rights, which which adds the right to receive behavioral health services to the existing types of health care that detained or incarcerated youth have the right to receive. We know that with organizations like NAMI at the forefront, that Santa Clara's residents are better off for it. On behalf of State Senator Aisha Wahab, I am proud to present the Senate resolution honoring NAMI's 50 years of service. Thank you. Cheers to you.
Hi everyone, I'm Victoria Lowe, Assembly Member Patrick Aaron's District Director. So happy to be here and see so much community support for NAMI, Santa Clara County, for all the work that you have been doing. It's a community effort. It takes a village, and mental health stigma and discrimination still exists. So I know that there's a lot of work that needs to continue to be done. So really appreciate everyone coming here to support this great cause and continue working towards this. So congratulations and happy 50th birthday.
Here, please. Is it okay if we scoot over here just a second? Sorry. Thank you. All right. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. This way. 3, 2, 1.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I am truly overwhelmed with so much love that we are getting. Okay, now I'm just happy to announce that the lunch service is open. So feel free to enjoy your meal and network, and we will resume with our program very shortly. Thank you.
Hello everyone. Please continue to enjoy your lunch. My name is Uday Kapoor. I'm currently the president of the board, Santa Clara County NAMI, and it's a privilege to be able to welcome you all today. What an amazing assemblage of dignitaries and passionate people that support this cause. Thank you so much for coming and being with us today. We have such amazing challenges right now. I mean, we thought that we had problems, but nothing like what we think we are going to encounter. So your help and support is so welcome. So I had some prepared remarks, but this is just the preamble. I just wanted to say that I'm so privileged to be holding this position right now, and really it's the people that came before us that built this organization and where we are today. There are more than 500 affiliates, NAMI affiliates in the nation, and we are one of the oldest, so we are so proud to have that role. I attend the President Council meetings every month, and I have told the folks, the last meeting we had, the CEO and the COO, who has just come on board, the national NAMI, and I gave them the flyer and I told them what we are doing here, and they're very proud of us. So this is something that I just wanted to start with. So thank you for joining us at this proud moment when we, NAMI-Santa Clara County, celebrate the 50th anniversary of serving the community for its behavioral health needs. In the words of the NAMI National, this is just to set the perspective, the words of the NAMI National CEO, this is just a few days ago that he wrote this. He said that today, 1 in 5 adults and 1 in 6 youth aged 6 to 17 experience a mental illness each year. On average, there's an 11-year gap between when symptoms first appear and when someone receives care. Just amazing. Nearly 40% of Americans still see mental health issues as less serious than physical conditions. And we have Senator Campbell, who understands that the most with the parity issues that he had been driving for a long time. And I think the insurance companies are party to this. These are staggering numbers. And 30 to 40% cite cost as a major obstacle to treatment. And this is what drives us at NAMI every day for our advocacy. I've heard that from people across the nation, from all of the other affiliates, but we believe in that very, very strongly. And I think our partnerships with folks all around our sister organizations, this is what we all believe in. We are blessed to have an amazing leadership team, including our executive director, NAMI, Ravina Nimbalkar, that you heard from earlier, staff, volunteers, our board, and at this time I'd like to have all the board members, the past and the current, if you could please raise your hand, I would appreciate it. To acknowledge their contributions. Our board and sponsors and a large number of members and well-wishers that have supported us over the years. So thank you again so much. We are grateful for the recognition from the state, county, and city officials, and for the many executives from our county and sister organizations that serve our community to be present here today. Thank you. I know that we are talking about mental health or behavioral health, but it's such a broad spectrum from disabilities, with intellectual disabilities, and we have folks from SARC, and Javier is here, that I've really admired the work that they're doing. And so many other sister organizations, just to name a few, Aki and Momentum and Hope Services and so on. Sorry if I missed any, I just want to quickly go through this. But I really appreciate all the sister organizations and your contributions. Really appreciate that. Because it takes a village, as we said earlier, and it's not just behavioral health. We have a whole spectrum of issues. And a lot of times there are co-occurring issues, all the way from childhood to aged folks. And we have a lot of challenges as we age. I would like to gratefully acknowledge the contributions of past leaders, the boards, the presidents, and executive directors, without whom the current milestone would not have been possible. Again, thank you so much. So, just like to recite the names of the past presidents and board and the executive directors, some of whom are present today. Marie Hebler, Irv Dean, Sharon Roth, Nava Statman, John Mitchum, Kathy Forward, of course. Kathy has served both as president and as executive director. She's an amazing lady and well recognized. Jen Hong, Vic Ozakian, he's not here today, but again, an amazing gentleman, and Bev Lozoff. So again, I wanted to acknowledge the community, not only the NAMI family, and then of course, besides the immediate NAMI family, it's also the community and the county board of directors, board of supervisors, and also the behavioral health department. We have been working with them to support and address the very serious challenges. So thank you again, and I'd like to, in conclusion, thank all the people that made this event possible. I think Christina, Rubina, that worked very hard to put this together. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker. He's my mentor. I think he's mentor to many, and probably the most recognized advocate for underprivileged people and for behavioral health issues, is former Senator Jim Bell. He and his wife Pat have been part of the family. We've been so privileged that he has been part of the family all these years. And I would like him to come and say a few words. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Hey, I'm going to talk for a little bit, and then I'm going to tell some little stories. Is that okay? I could tell some secret capital in the Capitol stories, because I'm out of there. I'm out of prison, I call it. The one with the big dome. I'm out of prison for 5 years, so I'll tell a couple stories. But I wanted to first thank you, Santa Clara County NAMI, the staff and the volunteers. And I don't know how they do it. They're kind of like people that can do a zillion things at once, right? Isn't that true? Yeah. Yeah, so they're talking over 12,000 people. 12,000. Can you imagine? And that number of staffs, and the volunteers too. Volunteers, we need you. I'm amazed at the variety of services that they provide. Now, today we're facing uncertain times. The mental health safety net's in danger. Medi-Cal and other programs that depend on state, local partnerships with the federal government are being cut back as we speak. And large numbers of Californians with mental health needs will be waiting for treatment, or not receive treatment at all. And those lucky enough to have private insurance will wait because of the California shortage of mental health workers and difficulty in getting their rights enforced and for mental health services. And nearly 1 in 6 Californians experience a chronic adults experience a chronic mental health conditions of some kind, and 129 have a serious condition that makes it difficult to carry out a majority of lifetime activities. And many cannot adequately advocate for their care. Can you imagine being seriously mentally ill and trying to figure out how to advocate for your care? It's not going to work, right? You're not going to be effective. So it's up to our elected leaders and ourselves to insist on their care. It's up to us. We have to insist on their care. We can't just say, okay, they can fill out a form if they don't think they're getting adequate care. Let them do that. I've heard that before, by the way. Doesn't work. Especially now. And I think that California, right now in their budget, they're reaching a point in the budget that they have to make decisions. What do they do? The budget's coming up. And California should use its small surplus. I read the report last year. I get all the reports, by the way. I have people sneak me information, even though I'm not a senator anymore. You get the inside stuff. Yeah. So they have a pot of money, and they need to put that surplus to protect the most vulnerable from pending federal cutbacks. They need to backfill and set up a way they can protect people. So the federal government is breaking the Medicaid partnership and putting the cost on the backs of the state and the county. They're putting the cost on the state and the county. You know, David Mineta, where are you, David? Okay, you know what your dad used to call it? Your dad, Congressman Norman Mineta, he used to say, they're shifting the cost and giving us the shaft. Yeah. So shift and shaft, that's what norms used to do. When one level of government kind of shifts something over to the other government, you know, yeah. It's kind of like and he used to say it a lot. He was a big, I used to hear that all the time from him. I mean, every day almost. He got me on the youth commission. Now, when the federal, California must protect and backfill that in the budget. I served on the budget committee for 14 years, so they need to take the money and say, okay, we're not going to spend it on this and that. We're going to set up a little contingencies for uncertain federal funding situations. And then once the federal government does its dirty work, they will figure out what to do. California also must toughen enforcement of the Mental Health Parity Act of 2020. When the Affordable Care Act passed, it was passed to have a health insurance, require everybody has a mandate to have health insurance. Okay, Affordable Care Act, remember that? And then the state adopted an Affordable Care Act. Okay, so what happened was all these, it was like 5 or 6 million people in California had to go out and were forced basically to have health insurance. Now what a gravy train for the health insurance companies, right? Gravy train. But the insurance companies that benefit from these millions of customers don't want to have the Mental Health Parity Act enforced. In other words, they want their cake and they want to eat it too, right? I didn't have a piece of cake yet, so I'm going to have that. So, can I have that? No. She said no. Okay. Now, you see how they operate, these insurance lobbyists? They really don't want to provide mental health care in the insurance. They want to provide it in the middle. They don't want to mandate to provide care, but they want to mandate that you have to have insurance, right? Because that means they'll get money from it. Your premiums have to come in. That's what they want. So what happens when they don't provide the insurance and the mental health care with the Parity Act? Well, the people default into the Medi-Cal system, right? The public health system. And all of a sudden it becomes the county and the state government and all the providers to cover those people instead of the private insurance. Okay, so they know I've been preaching this for years. I've explained this to the legislature. They understand this. But what do the insurance companies do? They spend hundreds of millions of dollars lobbying the legislature. hundreds of millions of dollars. Do we have a mental health provider here that can spend hundreds of millions of dollars? I didn't think so. But that's what happens. So what happens is people aren't getting health care. They're waiting for their mental health care, and they get sicker, and they get more acuity, and then the cost to the public goes up, and we're left holding the bag. So I think we have to have somebody say, we got to enforce the mental health parity law. And I think it has to be done now more than ever before. So we have to have that law enforced. Make sure that everybody on health care gets full mental health services no matter what. Now, I'd like to thank NAMI for all the support I received in my 14 years as a state legislature, chairing the select committee on mental health and the mental health caucus, which we have once a month luncheons, which I pay for, because if I did, they wouldn't show up, right? But we have lunches in the Senate lounge once a month. Only senators and assembly members can come in. We have a speaker come in. We've had NAMI come in many times. And it helps us bond together as assembly members and senators to talk about our families, learn more about the issue, and help each other. It's kind of like a legislative family-to-family training program. It's my version of that. So I call it the Capital NAMI chapter. Okay? We have to grow this over the years. We have to get more members. Families have to be aware, because helping yourself is one of the key ways of getting better mental health services. Okay, and I'm going to tell you a couple stories now, then I'll sit down. Okay, one was when we did the mental health parity law at the beginning. I tried 4 times before it was passed, okay? The first time we had, I got it through all the way to the governor. And then we got word the last day of before he had to sign the bill, that he was going to veto it. So he vetoed the bill. And then I heard they had a dinner at Morton's Steakhouse in Sacramento. And there was this guy, one of the servers, was serving the guys in a room with all the lobbyists. And the guy came to me in my office. He called up my office and says, I got to talk to Senator Bell, So he came in, he says, I was serving, I'm a waiter at Morton's Steakhouse. I want to talk to you about something confidential. I don't want anybody to know you. I'll talk to you about it. I go, what happened? He said, well, these guys are in there and they were talking about you. And I go, what were they talking about? They were talking about how they defeated the Antichrist. So these lobbyists are in there drinking, swilling, and eating their steaks, and drinking up their whiskey and cheering and toasting the defeat of our bill and calling me the Antichrist. So I guess that's their view of me. Okay. Now another story was the last bill we got signed by Governor Newsom was the peer support bill. Okay, that would be we all know about peer support, how it works, and how it is a great thing. And it's a great thing for young people to get involved in. High schools, right, Dolly? High school kids can do it. They can get trained. They have a training program. It's certified. If you certify the peer support program, you get Medi-Cal funding for it. So we finally got that bill. It took 3 tries to get that bill through. The last day of the signing of bills in 2020, we knew that there were 6 bills on his desk waiting to be signed. One of them was the peer support bill, SB 803. So we were trying to get a read on what was going on. What was he? So he hadn't made up his mind, because he vetoed it before, and he was thinking, well, if I veto it again, this is going to kill this program. So I called up a secret ally, and she was a strong advocate for the peer support bill. And I said, Dolores Huerta, can you call the governor up? And could you get Newsom to sign the peer support bill? She goes, when's he going to sign it? I said, he's got to sign it by midnight. So I didn't hear from Dolores, and I got this call on my cell phone about 11:30. Oh, geez. And it's Dolores. She says, I called him. I just got through to him. I said, you just called him at 11 o'clock? She goes, yeah, I called him at 11 o'clock. She says, he's going to sign it, Jim. So he signed the bill, and we got the peer support bill. Dolores was my last desperation move that I made. So when you're a legislator, you're fighting for something, you can use every trick in the book. Okay, and you have to. So I wanted to say to NAMI, as a grassroots effort, keep the pressure on, do a good job. If you're disappointed, just pick up the pieces and try again, because sometimes it takes time. And we will continue to fight with you. There's a lot of people that support NAMI. There's a lot of people that support the issues. We can overcome the lobbying on the other side. And we're on the righteous side of the question, you know. People should have good health insurance, right? They should have mental health services. It needs to be protected this year more than ever before. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you all the hard work that you have to take care of your Thank you.
Very appropriate remarks. He does.
Celebrating 50 years of support.
Playing by the rules for them. No.
Celebrating 50 years of support, hope, and advocacy. In 1975, a group of passionate individuals came together with a shared vision to support families and individuals affected by mental health challenges. What started as a small gathering of concerned parents and advocates has now grown into a movement that has touched countless lives, not only across Santa Clara County, but across the nation. Always with one goal, to improve the lives of individuals living with mental health conditions and their families. Through support groups, educational classes, and training programs, we've made a difference in the lives of many.
chronic mental illness is what brought me to NAMI, as does for many others. It helped me to understand that the illness was the cause of much of my son's behaviors and speech. This illness affects the entire family, not just the individual with the diagnosis. That's why it's so important to know more about the condition. NAMI's education and outreach have made a difference for me and my family. I have been involved with NAMI for many years. I started with NAMI-Santa Clara County around 1984 or so. Then I was on the NAMI California board for about 6 years. We moved to San Mateo, and I became a vice president of NAMI San Mateo County and was active for about 10 years. I was president of NAMI Santa Clara County while we were meeting at the house on Minnesota Avenue. Florence Mose Rosen of Rosen House was a very active member. I believe that Nava Stockman joined during that era. Family to Family was under another name and was just starting, as were many other programs started by NAMI National. Kathy Forward came to us and she attended one of those classes and also became a very active member, as you know. I was on the NAMI, the mental health board of both counties at different times before they became the behavioral health boards. I facilitated support groups for both NAMIs for many, many years. I helped bring CIT training for law enforcement about mental illness to California while I was on the NAMI California board. I have made many friends through many support groups. Thank you, NAMI, for being there to help us.
Hi, I'm John, and in 1990 approximately, our daughter Heidi returned from UC San Diego, and it soon became apparent that something was wrong. Her behavior was worrying, even terrifying. Jenny decided to take Heidi to Kaiser and convince her to go to Kaiser to see a psychiatrist. After their meeting, Jenny saw the psychiatrist walking down the passage, so she ran after him, and he quickly said, "You should read the book by E. Fuller Torrey called Surviving Schizophrenia, and you should check out a neuro organization called NAMI."
All right, so after I had chased the doctor down the passage, we did read the book, and we certainly did find NAMI, and since then, been very, very involved. But one thing I very quickly realized was I came from tech support. When you're in tech support, you tell people, point them in the way of fixing things. But with mental illness, fixing things is not the way to be looking, primarily for us family members, and I had to find a whole different way of problem solving. So, one of the things after we taught family to family some, we met lots and lots of wonderful people. We were very involved in the walk, and as Heidi got onto her road to return, we tried to find things where we could be doing activities together and supporting each other without any discussion about diagnoses or medicine and things like that. Just, let's go hiking, let's go skiing, let's do some music, let's have a good time. So Heidi, her husband Henry, they met at a support group here, and John and I and the grand dog Molly, we have been doing that ever since, and we've covered many miles, and we have a wonderful family, wonderful support, and we have a wonderful family here at NAMI. Thank you.
My name is Nava Stockman. I've been with NAMI-Santa Clara since 1990. And during this time, I've seen our organization grow and prosper, introduced many education programs, outreach programs, support programs, and in generally thrive, helping families and consumers. And if you look behind me, you can see what was introduced. How many programs we have now available that we provide. Those programs are run by volunteers, and NAMI members are amazing. I have never belonged to an organization that people have done so much and minded what they were doing so much. And the best friends I have, I've made here at NAMI.
What makes a person want to volunteer to a cause? What kind of person do you have to be? What molds you into becoming that type of person? Is it out of necessity? Desire to help others? Fear of the unknown? So many questions. For as long as I remember, my mother, Luisa Perez, has volunteered for one cause or another, all having to do with helping the underserved. My sister Connie was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia in 1984. My mother became involved in a support group, attended conferences, read on mental illnesses. She was trying to understand this devastating illness. 5 years later, my brother Mark began with the same erratic symptoms. My mother recognized the illness. Paranoid schizophrenia was also his diagnosis. Attending support groups and conferences, my mother noticed the Spanish-speaking community was not attending. All the important information was not being filtered to the community. Fortunately, someone else noticed that this information should get to the Spanish-speaking. Rebecca Wallace, author of When Someone You Love Has Mental Illness, organized the first Spanish support group in Santa Clara County. Rebecca invited my mother to assist in facilitating the Spanish support group. The group continues since 1985. Viva NAMI!
For families, peers, and professionals. Our goal is to provide resources that are accessible to all. We've partnered with schools, local governments, and healthcare organizations to ensure that mental health awareness and support are available where they are needed most. We've witnessed incredible transformations. The stigma surrounding mental health is slowly being dismantled, and more people are reaching out for help, knowing that they are not alone. We've made a positive difference, but the work is far from over. Together, we've created a community of support, and together, we will continue to advocate for those in need. As we look to the future, our mission remains clear: hope, support, and advocacy for all those affected by mental illness. We aim to become even more accessible, reaching underrepresented communities and expanding our services to ensure that everyone has access to the support they need. Together, we will continue to build a future where mental health is prioritized, understood, and embraced. Thank you for 50 incredible years of support, advocacy, and education. But this is just the beginning. Join us as we continue to build a future of hope for everyone in our community.
That was such a lovely video. Thank you so much, John Forward, for working so hard on this video. Thanks to Tiffany Austin and Christina Alanis and Adela's beautiful voice for helping with this video as well. As we bring this special occasion to a close, I want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you, our community members, volunteers, partners, board members, staff, and supporters. Today has been a beautiful reminder of what makes NAMI-Santa Clara County so unique, the people. This milestone, 50 years, is a reflection of your dedication, your belief in our mission, and your commitment to building a more compassionate, informed, and supportive world for those affected by mental illness. Whether you've been with us for just a few years or just learning about our work, your presence here today means so much to us. You are part of this legacy and of our journey ahead. As we look into the next 50 years, I encourage you to stay connected, stay involved, and continue to stand with us, because together we'll keep breaking down the stigma, building stronger communities, and ensuring that no one walks with mental health journey alone. Before we wrap up, we have a few fun things to announce. It's time for our raffle drawing. So if you haven't already, you can put in your tickets in those boxes, and we'll announce the winners in just a few minutes. And please don't forget to check our silent travel auction, which is closing soon, and this is your last chance to bid. So there are some amazing getaways that you can go and enjoy your time. Finally, continue to having dessert, and we invite you for informal networking and conversation, and connect with someone new that you haven't met. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here today and celebrating with us, and for walking alongside with us. Here's to next 50 years of hope, healing, and advocacy. I would like to thank Christina Alanis, our event specialist and walk manager, for putting this entire event together. Thanks to all the volunteers who helped us today. And thanks to our 50th anniversary committee members, Kathy Forward, Stacey Badges, John Forward, Tiffany Austin, and Christina Alanis, and then myself. Finally, thanks to all our VIP table sponsors, Ernst & Young and Momentum for Health. Take care, and thank you so much again for joining us, and feel free to stay back and enjoy. Thank you.